What's up, really lamos? Uh, it is finally autumn, and I am just so excited. I want to shove this pumpkin. I'm going to carve this pumpkin, and while I do it, I think I'll just rant about random nonsense. Because I'm excited for fall. I've got my hoodie on. I've drank some eggnog. I've been to the apple festivals. Um, I've had a really good time with it so far, and I know it's been highly anticipated with this hot summer we've had. But yeah, that's the plan for today. Uh, the first pressing issue that I just felt the need to get off my chest. Oh, by the way, I also petitioned my Snapchat friends to send me some, topics for this, and you guys came up with some doozies, so I appreciate that. But first issue I just had to get off my chest, something that PJ and I talked about earlier, is why do people say, you say tomato, I say tomato? That ticks me off. I ain't gonna lie. You wanna know why? Because I don't know anyone who unironically says tomato, and there's 100 better words that you can use other than those two things. So they're not comparable. No one says tomato. I don't know anyone personally, one anyway, and I know a lot of people. I know people who live in New York and in Florida. I know people who live in the East Coast of North Carolina and to Oregon. All right, I know a lot of people, and no one unironically says tomato, whatever. If you know someone or you do it, comment. Let me know about it. We can use again and again. Doesn't matter. You say again, I say again. We can use pecan and pecan. Who ate all the pecan sandwiches? Who does pecans? Whatever. That one makes sense because I know people from both sides who unironically uses both of those terms. Pecan, pecan. Neither one of them is wrong. I don't know which one is more correctly. Probably pecan. That's just a guess. Uh, I know people who say punch buggy and slug bug. I got a friend from Missouri. Um, well, that guy a lot used to work with them, and one of the things that he said was, "You guys call it something different, the slug bugs." And I'm like, "Oh, you mean like Volkswagens?" It's like, "No, but like the slug bug, the game." Like, "Oh, you mean punch buggy?" He's like, "Yeah, punch buggy." So there's a lot of things that you can say. Well, I say punch buggy, you say slug bug, whatever. That one makes sense. But tomato and tomato, it doesn't, because no one says tomato. I'm challenging you, internet. Find me someone who unironically says tomato in their native voice. It doesn't happen. Not anywhere here that I know. Maybe Great Britain. I don't. I've only met one British person, and I was intoxicated during that entire conversation. So who knows? Um, so one of my Snapchat friends asked me about aliens, and it's spooky season, so why not? Let's talk about aliens. Do I believe in aliens? Yes, no, sort of, but not really. There's a lot of things that dismiss it for me. So one of the first things that we look at is the lonely Earth theory. That Earth is the only planet to have intelligent life. I don't like that because there's just so many planets in the Goldilocks zone. It just seems unlikely. But there is one called the early Earth theory, where that says that Earth is one of the first planets to obtain intelligent life, which is why we can't find anyone else or signs anywhere else. I honestly don't like that one either, just because of how old the universe is and how fast the universe has expanded. Blah 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 blah. The universe is actually starting to come back, so it's more than halfway old. So yeah, that one doesn't really do it for me. Another theory is that aliens are so intelligent they have little to no desire to have anything to do with us. I don't like that one either, just because we have to be useful to some manner. Like even if it was for scientific purposes or slave labor or to farm for food, I don't know. That seems like something that those aliens would want us to be a part of, whatever. But the theory that I personally subscribe to, Bill Nye wrote a paper about it. It's the almost opposite of the first one. It's the later. Is that at one point in time the universe was just brimming with life, yada yada yada. But Earth is one of the few stragglers. Pretty much everyone's already died off around us, which is kind of depressing to think about. Um, Mr. Mo, we know Mr. Mo from the lottery ticket video and the bottle flip video, the Pop Tart video. He wanted me to rant about ants because ant and rant rhyme, which is not as far as the thought process probably went on that. Ants are fun little creatures though. They're insects, they're annoying, but they're clean as far as insects go. Ants actually have the record for animal population on Earth. There's estimated to be over 1 trillion ants on Earth, making them the most efficient animal to pass on their genes. And in two ways. One, ants pass on 75% of their genes rather than 100% of their genes like us humans do. When us humans mate, half come from the mom, half come from the dad. But obviously they all come from the queen, right? I'm gonna trade tools here for a second. Obviously they all come from the queen, so that makes ants, a little bit more efficient because all the ants are now related to each other. And ants can survive darn near any weather. Now, there's ants here in Virginia, there's ants in South America, the southern part of South America, there's ants in the northern parts of Canada and in Europe. There's pretty much nowhere that doesn't have an ant somewhere in it. So ants are really efficient little critters. Hope you learned something today, Mr. Monroe, about these ants. I can't remember how many different species there were of ants, but it honestly doesn't matter. Alright. Another thing that was addressed was NFL football season, because with spooky season, with fall comes football, of course. My favorite team is the Seahawks. That's not, something unknown for most people. If you paid in the background of other videos, it was just in my house. You'll see the Go Seahawks sign. I've worn Seahawks sweaters and stuff. Let me just tell y'all something about Russell Wilson. Alright, Russell Wilson sucks. And yeah, I'm one of those Seahawks fans that boo Russell Wilson. And on the field, I have to respect him. Yeah, he's a great quarterback. He's elite. He won Seattle their first Super Bowl. Yada yada yada. But at the end of the day, I just think he's a bad guy. He pretends to be this, big Christian person, but then he, wants this mega contract. It's like, that hurt this team really bad. And honestly, from a preacher standpoint, you would tell people, that wanting that kind of money is sinful in its own nature. The rich man doesn't make it to heaven a lot in Jesus' parable. So that's something to consider. Another thing is, he had his high school sweetheart or his college sweetheart, whatever she was to him, and he gets drafted. She thinks that they win the lottery because, they're in love and they last forever. And as soon as he gets to the big leagues, there's no if he's going to leave her for a Super Bowl. Geno Smith didn't do that. Bills lost today. Kind of upset about it. I still think the Bills are going to be my pick for the Super Bowl because they're the obvious pick. There's a few good sleeper teams out there. Philadelphia's a sleeper team. Don't sleep on Philadelphia. I don't know. I don't think Seattle has a chance. I'd like to see him go, but it is what is there. There's always next season. They need to rebuild. They're a quarterback away. I also think the Broncos are a quarterback away. Pete Carroll exposed Russell Wilson really bad because he said that Wilson is bad when you force him to roll out to his left, right? So that's how teams are beaten now, and he's not put up a lot of points. And even the teams that he did win against, it was a very low-scoring game. So, let's see. Draw this out a little bit. Yeah, Russell Wilson, I think he's a fraud now. He's getting a little bit older. He can't really move, kind of mid. Bad times. Bad times if you're a Broncos fan. I think you got ripped off. Sorry, Broncos, because the Broncos have done this before. They got Peyton Manning, and they're like, all right, now we want to win a Super Bowl. We got Peyton Manning. Makes sense. And a lot of good quarterbacks have finished their career with the Broncos. And why wouldn't Russell Wilson just be another one? But it's not going to happen like that every time. It's going to end in shambles. I'm putting that free on the internet for everyone to make fun of me about if it doesn't. But no, sorry, Russ. Let's ride. That's weak. They wrote me off, but I didn't write back. That's cool. That's strong. That's what you want. Also, it's Tom Brady's last year, probably. Never say never, but I feel like Tom Brady's going to get hurt. He's I've seen his thumb. I've seen, you know, just the way his body is shaping now. And I feel for Tom Brady. He wants to continue to play. He wants to continue to be hit by Aaron Donald than to spend time with the supermodel wife. Can't relate, but whatever. You do you, Tom. But I feel like he's going to like snap a leg or something, and it's going to be really bad for him, and that's going to be the end of his career. When he could have just, you know, retired as a Patriot, or even as a Buccaneer, right off into the sunset with his Super Bowl ring. So I'm a Tom Brady fan. I like Tom. I think he's the GOAT. I don't think anyone's going to compare to Tom Brady. If they do, I'll be kind of surprised. Another thing that is to be addressed is horror movies, because, like I said, it's spooky season. Um, some of my favorite horror movies. I'm not that big of a horror movie fan. Like, I guess where I grew up on them, they don't really do much for me. But I did like the Sharknado series. It's kind of nonsensical, which is, you know, pretty much what I'm all about. I'm really excited for the new Halloween movie coming out. That's got to be good. I think Jamie Lee Curtis is just ready to retire, and that's why it's probably going to end. Of course, like PJ said, it's been trying to end since the 80s, so, you know, maybe it's lip service. Who knows? I didn't like it. I know that's going to be an opinion that gets me, you know, roasted, but I thought it was slow, I thought it was boring, and like most things, doesn't necessarily compare to the book. Yeah, Stephen King, speed it up, or whoever makes your movies for you. You should have some more say in that, I think. A Simple as Snow is actually my favorite book. I don't know if you guys have heard of that. It's not that famous. It got a movie, and the cast was terrible. I was upset about it. And if Gregory Galloway was, I think he was alive at the time. I think he died of COVID, but I'm sure he was pretty displeased to see, you know, the characters that he worked so hard on portrayed in such a poor manner. Other scary movies. We just watched Titanic 666. That was very nonsensical, but actually had a decent plot. I'm not sitting here saying that I recommend it. I mean, it's not like anything bad, but it's not anything good either. Uh, Other scary movies. Why am I blanking? I don't blank. I rant. That's what I do. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not that big of a scary movie person. We watched The Grudge not long ago. Or rewatched it, I guess. That was fun. But it was a lot better as a youngster, I guess. Like, I don't know. The actual scary movies with Charlie Sheen at Comedy Central, that's actually hilarious. I like the third one the best, but who doesn't? That one is just straight up superior. So there you go. You want comedy and scary? Sharknado and scary movies. If you want something that's actually going to like freak you out a little bit, I think Jeepers Creepers did a little bit. That bus, well, that was maybe like the third one or something. I don't really remember. But it takes a lot to freak me out. It just does. I don't know. I'm just not that big of a. I'm more of a story guy, I guess, or just a blind entertainment guy. Also, briefly discuss the nightmare that is making some of these videos. Which, you know, I don't do this because I think I'm going to get big or anything silly like that. Obviously, I'm probably not. The channel's name is really lame, and like that's for a reason. Alright, it's not supposed to be, you know, Mr. Beast, which is who inspired me though to start making YouTube videos. Mr. Beast and Ray William Johnson. But some of these have been absolute just awful to make. The candy bar video or the s'mores video is by far the worst. Because it's like I threw up like 4 to 7 times doing that video. It was bad. Olivia actually had to go to the hospital because of how it made her feel. Like it was really terrible. And then the separating the letters video, that was really taxing. It took 5.5 hours. I actually ended up calling out of work, taking a paid day to finish that video. Alright. That's how dedicated I am to this. But that video was an absolute nightmare to make. It really was. I mean, nightmare. I had to take like, so many breaks, sitting in one spot, and I used to sit in one spot. That just took a really long time for no good reason. The Pop Top video was actually really fun to make. That one, there's no like bad backstory to whatsoever. The Pop Tart video was really cool. I would do stuff like that all the time. Trying to get away from all the food stuff though. It seems like most of my stuff has been food related, and I don't really want the theme to the page to be that. So I don't know if I want there to be a theme either, other than just nonsensical. So I'm open to suggestions and kind of stuff like that, but I don't know. I was really unhappy with the safe video. I was expecting a lot more to happen. I liked doing the safe video. The safe video was really fun to do. I mean, it was playing with fireworks and trying to blow up a safe. But the headache was making sure we did that legally, because Virginia says no fireworks. And then there's a lot of laws about, trying to get into safes like that. So we had to, make sure we wasn't doing anything unlawful. And we had to jump through so many hoops. We had to go to West Virginia to do a lot of filming. We had to, just double check our laws, the national laws, what was a felony, what wasn't a felony. But we did. We made sure it was all legal and all good. We also didn't even open the safe in the end. I mean, we cracked it, but then like we bent it the steel to where it wouldn't open anyway. Like we got the lock mechanism off the safe. But that video was a lot of fun to make though. I mean, it was a lot of fun to make. It was a lot of fun to have, and the editing was done really well. That video was shot at nighttime, which is the only one we've done so far like that. So the lighting wasn't great, and there was a lot of fog and a lot of bugs, but Brandon Miller helped me edit it, and he runs a YouTube page himself, Inductive Gaming. I'd strongly recommend checking that out. Shout out to Brandon, because he's an awesome editor, and a good friend of mine. Haven't got to talk to him in a while, miss him. But yeah, I really liked the safe video. That's been probably the funnest and most expensive video we've done so far. The safe was not cheap. The fireworks was not cheap. There was nothing cheap about that video. The gas that we took, the running back and forth, it was not cheap, which is fine. I mean, I don't have to struggle about money too much. But it was a doozy doing that one. I mean, I had to actually budget a lot for that video, but it was well worth it, because like I said, that was the funnest one so far. I'm having a lot of fun with this one. I hope this design that I've got works out, because it is a design, let me tell you. And you guys will certainly appreciate it. I told my girlfriend not long ago that pumpkin carving was the only art that I think I'm really good at. Which I'm a writer as well, but I don't know. Like when I say art, I mean like physical art. Like I can't draw. I can't. I've never tried sculpting. I've never been successful at doing anything, like painting wise or anything like that. I can carve a decent thing, as you guys are getting ready to find out if I get this to work. And I think I want to. It's turning out pretty good. Also full of crap, as you guys are probably going to get ready to learn. That was perfect right there. Love it. Let's see. Favorite holidays will surprise you. My girlfriend asked me not long ago what my favorite holiday was, and I didn't even think about it. It said 4th of July. She goes, I thought it was Halloween. And like, I'm really getting into the Halloween stuff. I've been getting into the Christmas stuff lately too. So don't be surprised. Anytime there's food involved, I like it. And when you talk about, Christmas food, y'all love desserts, which I appreciate. And time with family, which I appreciate, which I spend time with family almost all of them, so it doesn't matter. Get a lot of days off, which is kind of cool. But you know, the 4th of July one, the fireworks, I like summer best anyway. I think that's really cool. Um, and you got the hot dogs and hamburgers, stuff like that. That's the kind of food that like keeps this fat boy going out here. Try a lot of interesting food. The World Food Festival recently that my friend Misha and I went to. We had a really good time there. At least I did. Because we tried stuff I've never heard of and probably stuff that he's never heard of. But I could be wrong. Misha's very well trained. If it wasn't for mold, humans might not exist. You go back, way back when, I'm talking 7 to 10,000 years ago, and we're trying to kick off these civilizations. Um, we had a lot of civilizations just kind of pop up and die off because you get that many people together. Contagious diseases start spreading around, and there wasn't a CDC back then, you know, to tell us to wear masks or invent shots. So you just kind of had to, you know, survive it. Or usually the other one is not. So everyone knows about Mesopotamia, I'm sure, and everyone knows about the ancient Egyptians. And the ancient Egyptians is widely considered to be the first successful society. So why didn't that happen to the Egyptians? Well, the answer is because they stockpiled. They stored bread for their winter. The bread would mold, and they would eat it anyway because they couldn't really afford to be very picky. And that evidently gave the shot of penicillin from the mold that we so desperately needed to band together and survive as, you know, a society. So next time you're eating your bologna sandwich and it kind of like, ew, there's a little bit of mold on it, just know that little bit of mold saved your life. You would not be here if it wasn't for ancient Egyptians just eating a little bit of mold. Just being mature about it. I don't actually recommend eating mold. That's a joke. But it's not that bad. I don't think a little bit will hurt you. Unless it's the kind that will hurt you. Don't eat black mold. Surely not. I'm sure there's an algorithm on YouTube what kind of mold you can eat. Me, I don't eat mold. Unless the doctor would tell me to. I can afford a new loaf of bread. But not everyone can. And it's okay. Ooh, that's jank. I may have messed that up a little bit. Oh no. You can kind of tell what it is. Oh man, I'm almost finished with this pumpkin. I'm so excited to show you guys this art that I've been creating and sleeping on the last few seconds. And all while talking about the dumbest things I can think of to talk about. Which surprisingly has been educational. Oh, we have gunshots. Imagine that. That sounds like a 22. I don't know. I am a southerner. Despite the fact that I haven't put on a cowboy hat and made a rant video in my truck yet. I think that was a 22. I could be wrong. Someone's probably saw a squirrel or a rabbit. Those run around pretty hot and heavy around here. And they probably just, oh, there it is again. They're missing that. That sounds really close too. I don't know. Am I getting shot at? Is this Fortnite? I like Fortnite, by the way. Y'all didn't know. I am a Fortnite. My gamer tag is Sword Peter. You can add me on Fortnite. I probably won't play much. I don't play much anyway. And most of the time I do play is with my girlfriend or my close friends like Gabe. But you can still add me, and we can be Fortnite friends. And if the timing is right, and we're looking for someone to fill, you can definitely play with us. I will encourage that. And as soon as this last thing comes out, like I just know it will, we are finished with this pumpkin. It was easy as pumpkin pie, which is 3.141592 something. Used to know a lot more digits, but don't anymore because I am really lame in myself. And oh my goodness, it's almost here. earlier. This spectacular piece. Oh, there it is. All right, so just in case you haven't done so yet, what you need to do is go and sub to Really Lame. Thanks for watching.